Let me quickly talk to you about the Oportun Visa credit card for quick credit building. No credit check, guaranteed approval, no fee. Stick around till the end of today's conversation because you're going to love it. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about a very interesting credit card. This is the Oportun Visa credit card for quick credit building. No credit check, guaranteed approval, no fee. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, please understand this video is purely informational. No promotion here. We have no affiliation, no relationship with Oportun, okay? Let me give you the overview here. With this card, you can get pre-qualified in minutes without affecting your credit score. They have a soft pull program in place. You can receive your card. You can receive a card within days, okay? And you can actually even so the only thing is, in our view, credit lines are a little low. Maximum $1,000. The card is accepted worldwide. No credit history needed to apply. They have zero fraud liability, 24/7 online account management. The cool thing here is that this is a solid credit card if you are trying to build or rebuild your credit, okay? You can use your credit card for the things you need in everyday life: groceries, new clothes, gasoline, vacations, electronics. You can pay bills. Okay, this is pretty good. And you can always contact the Oportun team online or at 855-613-0070. 855-613-0070. The cool thing here, what we love about the Oportun Visa credit card for quick credit building is that applying is very simple. Honestly, you can apply online. There's no risk. There's no guarantee, of course, but there is no risk. You're not going to get a hard pull out of that, okay? And if you're a little scared about the offer, if you're interested, you got to go to opportun.com/myoffer. That's if you received an offer in the mail. If not, you can always contact them at the number I just gave you. Or one thing you can do also is that you can also actually email them. Okay, not a problem. One thing I want to say with this Oportun card is that even though the maximum limit is $1,000, the card is solid. Oportun has been around for a while. They actually cater to a specific niche, and they've done a great job at with their programs. They have been kicking ass in the last 3 to 5 years, so we really applaud them for that. The company is based in Texas, and if you need any other information, just go to the website to get more info. I want to really talk a little bit about the card details because this card is pretty interesting. So let's talk about the, you can see on the screen how the card looks like, the Oportun Visa credit card. The regular purchase APR is 29.9%. This is kind of high though. Don't get me wrong, this is high. But again, if you are in the subprime category, this is what it's going to take for you to climb out of that quote unquote chasm, okay? And so the regular APR is about 30%. There is an annual fee of $29. And let's look into the additional rates and fees here. There is no intro purchase APR, no intro balance transfer APR, no regular balance transfer APR. So this card is traditionally to rebuild or build credit. There is a cash advance APR fee of 29.9%, and that rate is variable. You do have a cash advance fee of 3%, minimum $10, late fee up to $35. There's no penalty APR. There's no balance transfer fee. There's no foreign transaction fee, and there is a return payment fee of up to $35. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that the card allows you to request a credit limit after 6 months of responsible use. Okay, but the bottom line is to get in there is no barrier of entry. Honestly, think about it. No credit history is needed to apply. No security deposit is required. Think about that. You can start establishing credit history automatically, and you have automatic reviews for credit line increase. And the cool thing here is, folks, I didn't say that before, this is an unsecured credit card. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Unsecured. No security deposit. Nada. Nothing. They're not asking you for anything. They're just asking you to provide your basic information, your name, first name, last name, right? Your social in some cases. But the social security number you're giving them, this is not for a hard pull. This is for a soft pull. Okay, so this is really good. And on top of that, they have a friendly support team, both in English and Spanish. This is really good. And just want to mention before I move on to the next section, this card is issued by WebBank, member FDIC. So if you have a checking account or a savings account with WebBank, your money is protected up to $250,000. Let's talk about the key benefits here. So when we talk about the Oportun Visa credit card, what are the key benefits? At least in our view, based on our analysis, there are 3 or 4 key benefits. First of all, you don't need a credit history to qualify. Think about that. If you're new, if you're 18 years old or you are 64 or 65 and you have multiple bankruptcies or multiple derogatory items on your credit report, this is the kind of card you might be interested in because you don't need a credit history. They will qualify you. As long as you pay your balance in full every month, the 30% APR, you don't have to worry about it, right? You don't need to have a social security number to qualify for this card. You don't need to have an ITIN to qualify for this card. Think about it. You don't need to have a US ID to qualify for this card. Isn't that wonderful? That's just a dream come true. You don't need a bank account to qualify for this card. Obviously, Oportun they were able to figure out an algorithm that allows them to monitor risk, to actually to address default risk, to identify borrowers, to identify applicants without going through the traditional routes of a credit identification. Okay, and they've been doing a great job at that. I said earlier, they've been kicking ass for the last 3 to 5 years. Fantastic. I mean, if you have a credit history, your credit scores are taken into consideration. If you have a social security number, they will take that into consideration. But if you don't, Oportun's proprietary technology can look at other data points such as your payment stubs, your bank account information if you have it, your income, your profession and industry, and personal references, to name a few. Okay, to qualify without a social security number, you'll have to verify a U.S. address in one of the states where the card is offered. And Oportun will also accept an unexpired government-issued photo ID to validate your identity. Okay, so without a US ID or bank account, the company's technology can evaluate other factors. And the issuer also allows you to pay the bill with cash payments at any MoneyGram location nationwide, including CVS and Walmart, for a fee. But if you can qualify for a free account, you will save money on those costs. And the cool thing here, another benefits that it's worth mentioning, is that Oportun reports payment to all 3 credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So these companies record the information used to calculate your credit scores. So it is an ideal feature to have on a credit card, especially if your goal is to build or rebuild credit. Should we have a quick conversation about the fee attractiveness on this card? Okay, I've said it before, there is no security deposit on the card, but there could be an annual fee. In some states, they charge $29. In others, they charge nothing. Okay, the Oportun Visa credit card is not a secured credit card. So basically, it does not require a security deposit to qualify. But you may have to pay an annual fee of up to $29 depending on your creditworthiness and the state where you reside. Okay, so being able to dodge the annual fee will make it easier to keep the Oportun Visa credit card open for a long time. And that's a great thing because The length of your credit history is a major factor in your credit scores, right? We have seen this on other shows where we address the issue of increasing your credit scores by 250 points over 6 months. This is a video you might want to look. You might want to search in our database and watch. So you have the $29 annual fee, and you also have the high APR. One thing I want to say here is that you can find cars in this class, in Oportun Visa's class, that definitely don't charge annual fees or any other fee. Let me give you an example. We have the Pedal 2 Cashback No Fees Visa credit card. This is a great example. It is also issued by the same bank, WebBank, which can look beyond traditional FICO credit scores to determine eligibility using an algorithm that considers factors like income, savings, and spending. So unlike the Oportun card, the Pedal 2 Cashback No Fees Visa credit card actually earns rewards of up to 1.5% cashback, a rate that is compatible to what you might find on cards for those with good credit. So this is something, I'm just throwing this in there so you have a better idea that there are alternatives, okay? So, but the thing with the Pedal 2 Cashback No Fees Visa credit card is that you will need a social security number and bank account to qualify for it, okay? So the high APR can be costly with Oportun, okay? Because the interest rate can go from, can go all the way to $30, 29, not dollars, 30%. 29.90%. Okay, I want to talk to you about another card, the Tomo card, for example. The Tomo card does not charge any fees or interest because you cannot carry a balance from 1 month to the next. In addition, it earns 1% cashback. So if your goal is to establish credit, it's one way to get started without having to worry about acquiring fees or interest. Okay, and the company behind the Tomo card has proprietary technology that weighs many data points such as income, account balances, and contact information. And you can also qualify for the Tomo card with no social security number, but you'll need a bank account. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Student Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about the Oportun Visa credit card, okay? And let me talk to you about getting ready. The thing here is that this is a card that doesn't ask a lot of stuff from you. They don't ask for your social, they don't ask for your bank account, they don't ask for anything. But the APR is kind of high, up to 30%, 29.90%. But let's say you have a social. You have a bank account. You just happen to have a low credit score. There are a couple of things you can do to qualify for a high amount. And in the case of Oportun, we're speaking about $1,000. That's the maximum. That's the initial limit. After that, you can qualify. You can have automatic credit line increases. But what I want to tell you here is that you want to keep your documents in order. Whether the card requires no social or social, you still want to have a strategy to apply for the card and get the card with the limit that you need and deserve. You want to keep your documents in order. For instance, your tax returns for the last 3 years. Those are important. Those might be necessary if you want Oportun or Tomo or Pedal 2 Cashback or any other credit card issuers for that matter to qualify you. By your documents in order, I'm speaking about your tax returns, your bank statements, your personal financial statements. Everything I'm telling you is not very complicated to do if you have no knack for accounting. You can just download a free budgeting software tool, or you can even use QuickBooks or other, you can use Xero, you can use, there are other tools out there that allow you to do those things for free. You can build a personal income statement and a personal balance sheet with the free tool. You want to demonstrate sufficient cash flow. One of the most important thing when we speak about Tomo, Oportun, Chime, One, Access, Varo, all those alternative fintech credit cards and debit cards, you want to demonstrate liquidity. it's not about having a low credit score anymore. It's about, okay, I have a bad credit score. Okay, all right. What else can I do? Well, what you can do is to save money so that you have a fat checking or savings account, even if your FICO is skinny. That's the strategy you need to think about. You want to actually also make sure that you compare and contrast. So if Oportun is not good for you, at some point, go for the next card issuer. Let me talk to you about Oportun loans, because obviously this show is about the Oportun Visa credit card, right? For credit building. But guess what? If you don't qualify for the credit card, you might qualify for the loan, because Oportun also has loans. So they have easy personal loans. So you can, again, the process here is analogous to what you have with a credit card. So you can get pre-qualified in minutes without affecting your credit scores. So either a personal loan or a Visa credit card, you're only getting a soft pull. The cool thing with the loan, with the Oportun loan, is that the amounts are a little higher. So the amounts oscillate from $300 to $10,000, and you can use the money for bills, repairs, deposits, and more. The APRs are still high, but they're no higher than 36%. But you just have to know that. So kind of high, still relatively high, but the amounts are high too. All right. And we love the fact that this Oportun loan, is flexible in terms of loan proceeds. Some lenders want to restrict what you can use the money for, but Oportun is not doing that. They're allowing you to do whatever you want. You can get the cash. In the past, we have seen, based on our research, that the approved borrowers, or applicants rather, who applied for a loan to take care of home improvements, car repairs, rental deposits, medical bills, vacations, and unexpected expenses. And the thing is, if you live in California, Florida, or Texas, you may be able to choose a bigger loan with a lower APR by using your car as collateral. Okay, so those three states: California, Florida, or Texas. And one thing I also want to say here is that the application process for this personal loan is kind of fast too. It sort of emulates the same process we have for the credit card. Okay, and you can actually, so once you get the cash, you can actually repay Oportun without a checking account. You can actually get the money and repay them without a checking account. You can get the money and repay them at Walmart, Kmart, CVS, 7-Eleven, grocery stores, corner stores, Family Dollar stores, and hundreds of other locations that accept check-free. Okay, of course, those sort of processes involve fees. Okay, so if you have a check-free pay location, there's no fee. If you have a MoneyGram location, there's no fee. But if you have a Pay Near Me location, then you have to incur a $2 fee. Okay, so options for auto loan payments are temporarily limited while the company is rolling out this new products, but they will add new options at the time. So what I want to say here is that you might want to think about the Oportun loan also. Let's now talk about the application, folks. So Oportun, you can only apply online. You cannot apply. You can talk to someone over the phone and try to apply over the phone, but Oportun does not have a brick and mortar branches where you can just walk in and actually apply. So I'm showing you on the screen here. If you want to apply for this credit card, the Oportun Visa credit card, you go to Oportun.com, and you go to the credit card and you click Apply Now. And it will ask you whether you want to apply for a personal loan or a credit card. You want to choose credit card because that's the topic of today's conversation. And then here it's saying get started. So you want to start with no offer code because we have not received an offer code in the mail. If you did, then enter the code. If not, just bypass it. So here they're asking you for your general information. So you want to put your first name, last name, right? Your mother's maiden name. Next, you want to put your date of birth. You want to put your address, your zip, your state, your city. You want to put what kind of identification you want to use for the loan application. And so you have options such as U.S. driver's license, U.S. passport, limited use resident driver's license, U.S. state city ID card, foreign passport, what they call the matricula consular. This is the Hispanic version. I mean, this is in Spanish. I don't know. I think it's more like the Mexican version. I have no idea. I don't want to say anything stupid here, but yeah. And other, if you have other form of identity, that's kind of cool too. And then you want to put, if you have a social security number, you want to enter it. If you have an ITIN, you want to enter it too. So they're asking you for your contact information, your phone number, how long you have had that phone number, and what kind of a phone type it is. You can add another phone if you want to. Next, you want to put more information about your email. You want to put your email and click continue. And then they want to verify your address. So you can say use this address. And next, they want you to have your financial information. They want to have your job status, your how much you're making, how much you have in terms of housing expenses. Click continue. And then here, they just want you to read some disclosures, right, about the APR. Those are regulatory disclosures and legal disclosures. They have to show them to you. Nobody reads those, but listen, they still have to show it to you if you want to read them. You can even print them. That's fine too. If not, just go ahead and submit. So once you submit, the system will take about 2 to 20 seconds to process the information. And then here they say we had the decision. Thank you for your interest in Oportun. Blah, 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 blah. We cannot approve you as of this time. That's fine. All right, folks, this is the end of today's conversation. What I want to say here is that we get denied, as we usually do on this show, because we always intentionally input fictitious, inaccurate data when we apply for a loan or we apply for a credit card, right? This is purely because we are doing this shows for an educational purpose. We're trying to show people how the process works without risking a hard pull on our own credit scores. We have a lot of folks in our team, and we don't want to have people actually getting hard pulls over and over and over. So today I was talking to you about the Oportun Visa credit card, and I gave you an overview about the card details, the key benefits, the fee attractiveness, helping you how to get ready. And I spoke about the Oportun loans and also the application process. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.